Alrighty, we are rolling. By the way, folks in Discord, if you're willing to jump in and ask positive questions, feel free to do that. I won't be able to read them all unless you're in YouTube chat. But if you want to unmute and just ask about positioning, etc., go right ahead. So first thing I'm looking at right out the gate, before we even get to the fun stuff, is composition, Roadhog, Curicó, Mercy, Junk, Sojourn. I'm curious about the Junk pick on this one. Pharo's really good on this map just because she has such a long, effective range while still able to play cover. Widow also has good play on here, and Moth is a skilled Widow player. Not sure what the pick was on this one. Tracer, Cassie, Soldier could also be good options. Even Ashe. On their squad, Orisa. Honestly, Orisa's turning into the Giga Tank right now. I know Roadhog seems OP because of Curicó and all that, but just in terms of overall mechanics, Orisa's really solid. Tracer, Sojourn. With the way Ram plays Tracer, that's a solid pick for him. Curicó, Lucio. Okay. Anyway, let's jump into it. And actually, I'm just going to slow this down to 0.75 because of how much action is going to be going on. Alright, first thing I'm just going to pause for, not so much for Varsity, but even JV watching this, is the route that people take. The entire team took the standard rollout coming out the main gate and then hooked right. This is quite creative. I want to see what they're going to do with that. A lot of teams come through the main gate. Really, you want to get some kind of split or use cover. Problem is, if you come to this main gate, everyone and their dog can shoot you in the face. However, right here, this Tracer leading the way is fairly protected and at least in a good spot to get cover. But let's see where they go. Oh, never mind. Okay, so that's just a bit of Tracer scouting. And already on jump, Tracer's in the back line. Okay, so some really high-level Tracer play here. Because first Tracer comes out to scout, dips around the back, gets a quick little backline shot here, and forces the supports this way. But instead of just chasing in a straight line, hey, I'm Tracer, I want to chase in a straight line. If you were watching, Tracer comes back this way, safe, covered. Ooh, let me try shooting this way. Now, thankfully, Ace already has a pop on him too, and they're doing a little pew back and forth. But really solid Tracer positioning, so that the recall gets them into a safe spot too. Nice hook on that, Orisa. Just knowing how Mega plays Roadhog. Oh, there goes another one. Haha, that's tasty. Just knowing how Mega plays Roadhog, and this map, even if Roadhog gets nerfed a little bit, or even if he gets broken nerfed, Roadhog is still a good pick on this map if you can just hit your hooks and drop him in the pit. You gotta be careful of positioning though, because once you get that hook to come up here and get him in the pit, you're very susceptible to backside boops from Lucio or Pharah, Wrecking Ball. I even got one on Reinhardt once. It was kind of funny. There we go. Holy cow. But tank is down. Nice little Mercy jump there to try to mitigate some damage. Okay, it's not literally mitigating, but reducing the chance of being hit, rather. So perhaps to use a World of Warcraft term, avoidance. Okay, Junkrat getting some crossfire here, forcing him into the corner. And I see, honestly, this is good Overwatch. Because if you look at it, there's no dramatic kills or ult usage, but through just good positioning and ability usage and time on target, you're basically about to cap the point without even getting a single elimination. That's solid Overwatch against a solid team. Oh! But Ram coming in clutch with that Tracer kill, and then there goes another one. Dang. That's a heartbreaker. Because Had we got those 2 eliminations, we flipped that point. It's right there. It's 90% flipped without even getting a single kill. And not quite. At the same time, that's also evidence of how to use space and not die. If you just don't die, you can pull things out longer, wait for a good kill, things like that. They didn't even give up the point. They were still collecting that point charge that entire time that they were backing off the point, and not quite. Someone just kind of touch in and stall. And you know, I might even come back to this one just to like a shorter chunk on their point stall, because it was really good. They didn't die, they maximized it, got a kill, and then kept the point. But now we have the point. That time they really just got spread. I don't based on how well they played and how well they kept it on that one, they shouldn't have lost it. But Roadhog running crazy, run! Oh, rip. Yep. So quick little side bit about Orisa ult, and this is for everybody. If you're playing against an Orisa, you have to save, and you see you're getting anywhere close to you, you've got to save your cooldowns. Yep, 3v1, that's no bueno. You've got to save your movement speed cooldown. So like, if I'm like playing basic bro Moira, and I know there's an Orisa and she comes running into the back line, save the fade, jump out. That way you're not getting wiped by your ult. There are some slow ones, you're just dead. Sorry Zen, sorry Ana. Can't think of any like chronically slow DPS, because like even Torb gets a speed boost from his overload. Alright. Oh, so Junk right here on a flank. Nice pick. And even, oh, 2 of them. Clutch. Because even without the pick, so with Junkrat, I wouldn't go that brave in your face, especially against Orisa. Got lucky on that one. One of Junkrat's... Wow. Wait. How did Junkrat die? Rip. One of Junkrat's greatest gifts is that his projectiles bounce. And so, and there's an arc. So you can shoot them over the fence, over the wall, things like that. It's hard to aim it, for sure. Oh, yeah. Tracer at it again. It's hard to aim it, but at the same time, that's when he gets maximum value. And honestly, good job, Kyle, for not feeding into that Tracer. But this is, yeah, that's a spot where you could have certainly come back just a little bit to pick up your supports. And honestly, I'm a little surprised that this Lucio hasn't gone to Boop and out of position Hog. Especially with how many hooks and pits the Hog is hit, that Mega's hit. Personally, I would have just sent Lucio on the flank to get it. That's some junk positioning until the drop, but back up, maybe? Not quite. Yeah, but yeah, getting those optimum positions. And then another one is getting that junk trap right here. Getting that junk trap in a spot where Tracer's going to go. Because even if it doesn't kill her, it gives your supports another minute to just run away. So yeah. And the other thing I love about this Tracer play is that by just not dying, and I remember this from the comms on Wednesday, Tracer's over here, Tracer's over here. It pulled attention over there. It was just as distracting and dangerous as a tank coming through the main gate. Ooh. Crisp pulse bomb. So yeah, and now we're fighting a 3v4? V5? Oh, not anymore. I think it's just a Roadhog. Yep, and then there goes another overclock. So, and if I remember correctly, that's the end of this round. But the real crunchy thing while the rounds change, that one stall that they had earlier where they milked, I think it's like a solid 20%. I want to go back and check. Oh, no. There we go. So, oh, they got more than that. So... So really, I'm trying to see like when we first start building charge. Okay, so we start contesting at 23%. But they never actually give it up. Look how they're just kind of dancing in, touch, maybe, kind of, think about it. Nope, not quite, maybe, thought about it. Made you look. 23. 43. And then, so yeah, they literally saved 20%. Or in other words, more than the margin of victory. Just by getting that little dance back and forth. Because if you look up here, they've got Lucio Orisa poking over here. And then occasionally, I'm pretty sure Tracer... okay, Tracer is killing in the back line. But getting effective moves in that way. Alright, let's go back to that 75% speed. Come on. Alright, next map. And hopefully my view will change soon. Okay. So as far as characters on Winton Lab's side, it looks like we're playing solid characters. Just based on our skill set and what we're running into, and they're running very much the same thing. Kiriko Lucio is really powerful right now. Like the Widow position, it's not the same cheeky one, and got the early pick. So that should... So that's already a 4v5 for us. Or 5v4, rather. I don't like how we're fighting in this lane. I mean, it's good that Ace held a 2v1 without dying, but... if we would have got a better fork on that between Tracer and Widow, we could have got some more kills. Okay, and actually, real quick, I want to back up. I want to see how Hydratic died. Oh, no! No! He's just standing there. Now, I mean, admittedly, Widow is too, but Widow at least has a grappling hook. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that positioning. Because, yeah, sure enough, Tracer just comes in and says, hello. So, sorry to bully the Ana. Couple things. Talked to you about this in the lab. One of them is just at least taking that sleep shot. That's the situation that Ana's sleep dart was made for. She wasn't designed to pop off and drop 500 damage on someone, but sleep them long enough so that she can walk away, instead of just giving her another teleport, speed boost, fade, like all the other supports seem to get. So taking the sleep dart shot. The second one is just positioning more effectively. Now, with a Tracer, you don't want to go too far, because you're going to need your team to be able to help. But you want to be at least in a defensible position, whereas right here, even if Tracer didn't get you, the Lucio and the Kiriko and... okay, admittedly the Rissa just died, but 3 or 4 different heroes had a chance to get you. Basically, everyone who was alive had a chance to get to the Ana. You want to use that Ana scope to basically perpetually kite and keep that range away from your enemy. If you're not familiar with the term kite, imagine flying a kite. Like you're always pulling it, but it's trying to run away from you. You're that kite. No, no, no. And you want to keep backing up because you want to fly a kite in a strong wind. But if you let it keep getting closer to you, then it's just easy to snag. Okay, free kill. So use that range to your advantage. Another thing to keep in mind, there's a bit of play back and forth. If you're so far out that it takes 2 blinks to get out there, that's 2 less blinks that she has to use. Oh, man. We should have definitely won this team fight. I actually want to go back and see how this all played out. Just kind of like what went wrong. Oh, too far. So, because we start off in a 5v4. And they engage it anyway. But look at our split here. We've got tank support, sniper one side, DPS support this. So actually, it's decent. Personally, I would have loved to see a rotation instead of coming down this way, perhaps coming over the top. Now, admittedly, they gave the space over here for Sojourn to get around on the sides. That's a good play. But if not, trying to flank out this way or even coming up to this spot where Widow is, and then have Widow either get up to the high ground or even grappling over to here. I like to think of it kind of like soccer. When I played like little middle school soccer, we always had like your left, your right, and your mid, and the coach always had a rule that he would assign us. Okay, you're a left midfielder, you're a center midfielder, you're a right midfielder. It's like, but if something happens and you find yourself in the middle, either go back where you're supposed to, or if someone's in your spot and they're not going back, go where they're supposed to. Basically, to spread out. Particularly with Sojourn, Widow, or two mid to long range damage dealers. Okay, we still have the advantage 5-4. I want to figure out how we lost this one. Sojourn's got a good angle. I think it was the Ana Death, because the Sojourn that Moth picked off earlier is already 2/3 of the way back, and now we're down to support. Let's keep going. Okay, so now it's it's basically a 4v4, because now Sojourn is back, but we're down to support. Wait, oh, 1 second. Oh, that was too fast again. And then, so it's got the Orisa and the Lucio. So now it's 2 DPS against 2 DPS and a tank. That should still be in our favor. The speed this stuff is going, I need to slow it down again. Stinking Tracer. So, oh, that's a support. So, okay, so it's no longer a 3v2. It's now a 3v3 that just got turned into a 3v2. Those singular little deaths can really be quite critical. And this is one where, like, if you're that low, it's like, what? It's not even like a widow hair long. Can't even see the health bar. Yeah, tiny. It's like 3 hit points. I would start getting out. Realizing that you're probably going to die anyway on the way out, but just get out and see if you can get a health pack, regroup, or taxi the Mercy back, things like that, to at least try to live and fight another day, turn around and get a shot from a more optimal range. But a Widow body on this point isn't as effective as it should be. And then there goes the Widow. Now it's 1 tank against 2 damage and a support, and that's a flip. It's 1 tragic death at a time. Alright, so they're gonna flip. I can't remember if we made any changes on this side. Nope, still running that. Alright, Tracer getting up there. Sojourn getting, ooh. Oh, I wanted to see that, but I guess not. Surprise! Tracer knows where Widow goes. That's ironically one of like the like meta within a meta kind of thing. The better players that you play against, the more they know the tendencies. So in this case, Tracer came up here. My guess was to try to get a cheeky pulse bomb in the back line, but also, oh yeah, they're playing Widowmaker, and this high ground is a great Widowmaker spot. And so just playing ahead of that. Went for the pulse bomb, it whiffed, but okay. Still force abilities. Got the support. Ooh, and the deeps. So at a point like that, when you're getting surrounded, that was basically a 5v2. Forcing cooldowns on their end might feel good, or like I made it just a little bit longer. At that point, I would literally just turn around and run. Again, realizing that you're probably going to die, but it's better to die early and just realize, okay, we're down 3 people, I'm just going to get back to spawn, instead of get staggered out. Okay, Ash switch. Okay. And then give them a ton of ult charge as well, because they used a bunch of abilities, they did a bunch of damage and healing. Okay, tank positioning wise, It's a little counterintuitive, but more times than not, tanks need to be engaging with tanks, not trying to kill squishies. That was a nice pulse, and unfortunately, yep. Hey, oh darn, almost. I was like, is he just going to turn around and run out? That'd be perfect, but yeah. Where was I? But yeah, there's a point where Orisa was going one way, and the enemy Orisa was going the other, and they're just kind of shooting at the squishies, which feels good, because you can do lots of damage, you can get eliminations, so can the other tank. Your job is to keep that other tank locked up, and from not doing that to your squishies. Let your damage dealers get that effective damage in on the other DPS or supports. Because on top of that, in terms of like time to kill, oh, okay, nice one. Can we touch? It's an advantage fight. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got four people of the squad there. Of course, Tracer's going to come make a mess of things. Okay, nice one. Gotta finish off that Sojourn. Nice res. Don't die. Oh, that's a rough one. Yep, because with that much space, that a Sojourn of their skill level is going to hit that shot. So you got the point, but no supports. Ults are roughly even. They're ahead by a smidgen, but and one thing I would add, like for JV folks who watch this, a lot of these team fights are being flipped by a hero that either doesn't die or does die, just based on that like smidgen of error. Oh no. So those small health pool margins are really critical as far as pulling that off. With that pulse bomb, multiple pulse bomb kills are usually due to graviton surges or bad positioning. And in this case, it was a long range and a short range that got stuck together. If you get stickied, or if you get pulsed, just call it. Like if you've got a Kiriko, they can cleanse it, they can lamp it, or if at the very least you can just get away from somebody. In this case, like Ashe, Pharah, Widow, Echo, fly up, because you typically don't have teammates that can fly up. A Mercy might occasionally, but also when you're doing that, don't just click Guardian to the box. Make sure you're looking, because if someone has a pulse bomb stuck to them, it'll be flashing. It's a giant light that says, "No, don't do it!" And so, keep an eye out for those things. I'm going to go and wrap this one up, get it uploaded, take a quick break, and I'll be back with the second map.